Why does everyone panic when the market goes wild, but algorithms, they just keep on trading and trading and trading like nothing's happened? Look, managing my own 6 and 7 figure accounts, I've seen firsthand how headlines and social feeds explode with fear. And then what happens is everyone scrambles. But my algorithm, it just sits there quietly and it just sticks to the plan. So today I'm going to show you exactly why automated trading stays calm throughout a storm, how it's also protecting my portfolio time and time again, and what you can do right now to trade with the same confidence without being glued to the charts all day. So navigating the markets is a lot like sailing on the open sea. Most people, they crave calm, predictable waters. They want to see the horizon. They want to know what's coming next. But markets, they're more like a stormy ocean. Waves will rise and fall without warning. Instinct, it tells us to panic. It tells us to just grab the wheel. That fear, when you see the charts drop, that's the same instinct that sailors get when the wind shifts. It's this urge to do something. But like seasoned traders, seasoned sailors know that you can't control the sea. You can only control the ship that you're in. React to every wave and you're going to capsize. Trust your course, keep steady, and you're far more likely to eventually reach your destination. So how do you build a trading system that can survive the storm? And more importantly, how can we protect ourselves from crashes? Let's break it down. So here's the secret. An algorithm, it doesn't care if the market's crashing or rallying. It doesn't watch the news. It doesn't check social media sentiment. It just reacts to the math, to structure, to volatility, and of course, to movement. Every panic is just another opportunity. Every rally is just another cycle to work with. There's no emotion, no bias, just logic, all reacting in real time. So let me show you on the screen how mine works. When the market falls, it buys in small amounts as prices drop, then exits when things recover. When the market rises, it takes quick profits from smaller price moves, never getting greedy, never panicking. It's emotionless, but not blind. It adapts to what's happening, but never lets fear or hype take the wheel. And that's the lesson. Let your plan and not your emotions drive your decisions. But here's the real problem. Every trader eventually learns the hard way, and the weakest link in any system isn't the system itself. It's actually the person that's touching it, because fear makes you override your own rules. Doubt makes you unplug something that's already working. I've seen it happen with our own clients, the ones that just leave it, go about their day and live their lives, and they come back in a few weeks or a few months to check it. They always outperform the ones that are staring at the charts all day. It's like they just want something to happen. It's not going to do more because you're looking at it. You know, I've seen clients unplug their bots mid drawdown only to check back later and realize it would have just simply recovered on its own. It's kind of like having a self-driving car. You know, you order one, you get into one. I want to have this self-driving car, but what you keep doing is you keep dragging the wheel every time you get nervous, and that's usually when you end up in a ditch, because the algorithm never gets scared. It's only humans that actually do. Look, take Peter Lynch. He's one of the most successful investors of all time. He managed the Magellan Fund at Fidelity from 1977 to around 1990, turning it from 18 million into around $14 billion. Now, over those 13 years, he delivered on average a return of around 29%, nearly double the S&P 500. So by all measures, it was one of the greatest runs in financial history. But here's the shocking part. Most of his investors, they actually lost money. Now you got to ask yourself, well, why? How could that possibly happen? Well, it's because they bought when the fund was hot and then they sold when it dipped. So basically let emotion, not strategy, drive their actions. What they did is they chased performance and then they bailed out on fear. And that's the exact opposite of what works. So what you can do is start by writing down your trading rules before you enter any trade. That's a great start. And then just follow them no matter what the market does. That's actually how discipline is built. You need a plan that exists outside your emotions, because when volatility hits, which it will, your feelings, they're going to lie to you. So if you don't have an algorithm yet, this is where it all begins. Write down your ideas, define your rules, and then stick to them like it's code. And that's exactly what we did. We just took those same principles and we programmed them into a system that never hesitates, that never doubts, and it never breaks its own rules. So now that you understand the difference between emotional reactions and automated execution, let's talk about how we actually protect a portfolio. So it's not about trying to predict where the market is going. It's about actual precision. And real protection comes from knowing exactly how much capital to deploy and when, and making sure that this is engineered into the system itself. So at Minotaur, we've actually built tools that do this automatically. And if you want to learn more about them, you can book a call by clicking a link in the description. But let me show you how it works inside our own software. Instead of guessing, our system calculates how much of your portfolio should go into each position based on risk, volatility, and of course, market conditions. And then this position sizing logic is built into absolutely everything we do. It's what allows the system to survive deep pullbacks, handle volatility, and of course, still grow and compound the account over time. So rather than being overexposed or sitting on the sidelines, the algorithm is always going to be balanced, deploying just the right amount of capital at the right time. In short, this is how the system protects itself. It's not reacting emotionally, it's not guessing, it's just constantly managing risk, staying alive, and compounding through every market cycle. But let's just zoom out on that as well. Now, we know that we live in an age of algorithms. There's headlines and bots and automated trades flying around faster than real fundamentals can ever really register, especially in the digital currency markets. Now, everyone's always waiting for the next crash, for the next war to start, even for the next rate cut. But here's the truth, the world doesn't actually end that often. Most of the time, markets are just going to move up and down like a heart rate monitor. A few sharp spikes, but mostly it's a pretty steady rhythm. And that's all a good system needs, this movement, because volatility is actually opportunity. And great traders know this too. People like Sam Price, also known as Crypto Lifer, these guys are masters of catching those intraday swings and turning volatility into profit on a minute by minute basis even. Even people like Sam Price use our system because it keeps working when they can't, capturing those same movements automatically and all around the clock. So instead of getting caught in every headline, we focus on the bigger picture, and that's the long-term trend. And when it comes to that, nothing compares to the power law. This is how I cut through the noise and stay focused on what really matters. Once the bigger direction is clear, and you can see how clear it is from this picture here, for me, the human, the algorithm is just going to take care of the rest. It doesn't need to predict the news, or it doesn't need to outsmart the market. It just needs to react. It's going to watch every tick, every fluctuation, and it's just going to adjust itself automatically. So that's what makes it so powerful. It just keeps executing the logic day after day, no matter what is happening in the headlines. So here's the big takeaway. Markets aren't designed to reward emotion. They actually punish it. They reward systems that stay calm, adjust dynamically, and let volatility do all the work. So when everyone else is panicking, remember, algorithms, they don't care. And that's exactly why you want them and exactly why they win. So if you want to trade like an algorithm, set your rules before you enter and execute mechanically, no emotion, no second guessing. That's how you create predictable outcomes with a repeatable system. And if you want access to a system that's already built to absorb volatility, execute automatically, and generate returns no matter what the market is doing, then click the link on the description to learn more about that. Because markets aren't emotion, we are. And that's why we built something that isn't.